TV sport from this amazing arena here in Butlins, Minehead. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it really is the moment we've all been waiting for. So here we go. Would you please welcome the two-time back-to-back champion of the world, Jackpot Adrian. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Premier League, the former world finalist, and the winner of 19 PDC ranking events, the Flying Scotsman, Gary Anderson.
The 2014 Cash Converters Players Championship final then. Gary Anderson against Adrian Lewis, first man to 11, and for the first part of this final in the box, Chris Mason and John Rawley.
Thank you, Matt. Whatever happens here, we are going to have a new champion for this Players Championship. Gary Anderson has been throwing brilliantly all weekend, a tournament average of 105.16. Christian Kiss, Stephen Bunting, and then today Phil Taylor and Vincent van der Voort. But Adi Lewis, well, he produced a fantastic finish, two fantastic finishes earlier on to account for Jamie Caven, 124, 123, back-to-back legs, then Wes Newton, and here he is, the double world champion. Is it going to be his weekend? His little son was in hospital ill, suffering from pneumonia. Happily, he's very much on the mend, so Adi in an altogether happier place. Gary Anderson, though, I'd agree, on form, on what we've seen, he looks like the man to beat, but whose nerve he's going to hold. And Gary Anderson, a former Premier League winner, but he's never won a televised ranking tournament in PDC competition.
Correct. Don't tell the governors, but you do this one for nothing.
It could be. Don't set that sort of precedent, Chris. That's a very, very dangerous thing to be saying. That is a superb maximum for Anderson. What a way to start the match.
And I'd buy a ticket.
You wouldn't be able to get one. There's 4,800 in here. Complete sellout. Anderson looking for the huge statement in the first leg. He got an 11 darter in the first leg in the semi-final, and he's trying to put Lewis under pressure from word go.
He started that match back-to-back, 11 dart legs. 4 in total in that match, and he will need arrows like that to win this one.
Cogs were turning there for Adi. He's not left himself on a finish. Gary Anderson will do here, I think. He has indeed. So 122 when he returns to take the opening leg against Lewis's throw, which he won on the pull-up. behind the scenes, can he get the dream start, Anderson?
4/18's ball.
90.
Double 16.
87.
80
Pressure.
Lewis then, 87.
Pressure on the Lewis throw.
Big
Has
time.
to get this. Should get at least one dart at the ball. If not, 2 darts at double 18.
Needs to get his game head on straight away. Bullseye then for Lewis.
62.
Shaved the wire.
32.
First blood to Anderson. His finishing has been good.
And good again, good enough. Putting that one away, and just as in the semi-final, getting the start he wants against the throw, and that is first blow to the Scotsman.
92.
The reason for me why Anderson is in this final is his percentage success rate on doubles. 50%.
It has been on occasion his Achilles heel, hasn't it? He's always been a massive scorer, but he's not always been able to fall across the line as he would wish.
Yeah, just closing legs out. Put him on a big finish or a 2-dart finish, you fancy it. Sometimes when he's got 3 darts in his hand, he just loses a little focus, little edgy, but not this weekend.
No. If you were watching earlier on, incidentally, it's also slightly mystifying visit. Just watch this first from Gary Anderson when he left Vincent van der Voort with an opportunity to check out on 144. Well, he'd set himself on tops. He'd set himself up for double tops, and he thought Big Vincent was on 244. So there's your official explanation.
133.
Outstanding darts once more from Anderson on the finish. 50 required, and Lewis away with the washing.
95.
See, get an idea of the size of this arena. Huge electronic screens as well. Tops now for Anderson, and he gets it 2-0.
Gary Anderson.
15 darter.
80 has not showed up yet. 84 average. Better.
Gary continuing where he's left off in previous matches, averaging close to 104. The tournament average still up over 105.
42.
It's not too clever.
He is human after all.
100.
Times against Phil Taylor this afternoon. Phil's probably watching now, might not forgive me for saying so, but Gary Anderson's throwing at times was sublime.
Certainly was. Well, they both had a second session that was off the scale. 119 over 5 legs average for Anderson, 120 for Phil, and he lost that session 4-1.
That is going some. 2-8s then.
128.
Put a quick one in there. Fancied it. Will be back. No finish for Anderson. Can only apply a little pressure.
100.
Not as much as he would have wished. Lewis, this is a must-take. And just needing the one dart to get there. And happily, from his perspective, into the match.
Game on.
A hold of throw. Anderson, all importantly, with that one break.
140.
Raise up the eyebrows. Not quite settled yet.
46.
Yeah, and that's another indifferent start to this leg. Needs to find a way to strike back somewhere. There's the checkout rate at the moment. Tournament checkout rate, 50%. I think most players would settle for that any time.
Title winning numbers.
95.
Anderson thundering forwards once more. A maximum. His second of the match. And we're only in the 4th leg.
100. Gary require 100.
The Minehead thousands are standing up because they do love the darts. And Gary Anderson just checking with the scorer.
80.
Needed double 10. Lewis way back.
100.
Tens then for Anderson for 3-1. Game shots, beautifully thrown, 3 out of 7. Lewis has problems, 3-1 down. Break at the end of this leg, Chris.
Yeah, he's just not quite on it yet.
125. 140.
Bit of a flyer. Tried to force that one into the first 2 darts. It's a better from Lewis.
Beautiful.
Welcome to the party. Look at those numbers.
Match average you briefly saw there from Anderson. It's pretty stratospheric. It was at 108, just coming down a tad there.
121. 137.
Impressive once more.
75.
Can't leave the finish though. Lewis looking for 18. He's found it for tops. And that's good from A.D. Lewis. Absolutely had to take that one. Had he been 4-1 down at this first break, he would have been looking in trouble. But he held his nerve, got the checkout he wanted. And at the first break then, Anderson is leading Lewis by 3-2. But it is bubbling up towards being the final that we had anticipated. It could get very, very hot indeed.
Kind of almost like a glint in his eyes. I want this now.
He has that little bit of anger there, ready, and then when he's on the hockey, he looks really focused and ready for it.
You've got to control that. Obviously, got to channel that feeling. He's done that so far pretty well. The 50 for 2-0, and his nose is in front. He's broken already, obviously, at that point.
Yeah. Tops to 2-0. Look at Adrian there, still back on 2-1-6, because he hadn't started his scoring regime by then.
No.
And it sometimes can take you a few legs to get into it. It didn't with Gary. Adrian, it did. But when he did, 3-2, he's going to be absolutely over the moon with it. He really is.
Yeah. 10's first for Gary to get to 3-1, and then you think, well, if he takes the next and full one at the break, you've really made a statement. It hasn't quite turned out that way, but he'll have been relatively happy with what he's done, and his finishing's been better than it can be.
Yeah, well, he's in front as well, don't forget. He's going to come out at the second part. He's in front. Adrian, he'll go in the break and think, right, come on, I must do better here, because he knows he hasn't hit the big scores yet, as we know he can. They're both going to hit each other at some point with all these big 180s and finishes. It's who comes out at the other end, I suppose.
Yeah, well, Adrian pulled off a 75 for 3-2, and then the breaks can do funny things, can't they? They can affect different players. They can change the whole feeling of the game at times.
Yeah, sometimes the players actually go off the stage, have a stand at the back, get a bit of fresh air, have a drink of water, whatever. Or sometimes you just stay on the stage to keep the momentum and the lights, because they're very bright up there. All these little things can make, even if it's 1% difference, it can make a difference. And going at the second bit, Adrian's now got to fire in there and really get stuck into the final.
What obviously, regular Lewis watchers is that some points, given half a chance, he will fire. 3-2 as it stands, though, to Gary, as we rejoin Chris and John.
Enormous noise behind our presenters there, up there on the balcony. And now the crowd just subsides a little bit and just turns their attention to the stage, because this match is fascinatingly poised. Anderson with the break, he leads by 3-2, but Lewis with that 75 checkout, that was a really important one, Chris, because had it gone the other way, then Anderson 4-1 up, he really would be starting to take an imposing advantage. As it is, he's just got the single break.
Yeah, important moment.
137.
5 legs just seem to rattle through.
Great start from Anderson, averaging close on 108 at this stage. In scoring terms, out-throwing Lewis, and that's reflected by the advantage that he's been able to accrue so far.
100.
Early days, though, in the context of the match. First to 11 will take this one, remember.
Well, traditionally, in this tournament, when Gary's gone out at the first break and came back, he's hit the stage running.
We needed that last treble.
Hello, sailor.
Well, Anderson's on a finish, Lewis isn't, so he's got 6 darts from here. Great first dart. Great second dart.
Yep. 44 left.
124.
Well, that is very, very handy indeed.
Mature darts.
105. Gary Uruguay 40.
So tops then for Anderson. Not a bad marker. Surely this time. Oh, now that could hurt.
Adrian Uruguay 96.
96 for Lewis. Great first dart. Double 18. And he punishes him. He's back on level terms.
Big, big moment in this match. The last 2 legs may be key in the result of this match.
We've talked about little fractions that can just make the difference. Gary Anderson so close to that double 20, but not quite there. 96, and in he stepped. That's why he's twice been a world champion.
100.
He'll not be a happy boy about that. There's a bit of anger in the face of Gary Anderson. So Lewis might be able to step in again.
140 puts him on level terms.
Now an opportunity for Lewis to really seize a big advantage. He's not taken it.
What a 60 that was.
It's a great 60, but in the context of the match, he'll be disappointed.
Run across the top wire.
56.
And he's done it again. He's not left. Oh, he has. Excuse me. I thought he miscounted there. Back-to-back 60s for Lewis.
Anderson 158 then with the throw.
So this is one of the few big finishes we've not seen.
And we're not going to see it this time either.
54.
2 treble 18s. Ball was his target there. It's a new one on me.
Lewis has thrown a single 3, another dart which you can't quite believe where that came from. 104 then. Terrific first dart, single 4 he's taken for double tops. Great finish, 104. Got away with it there, Gary Anderson.
Yeah, 163 scored in Adie's last 9 darts.
95.
Lovely clean finish.
Good finish. But Adie Lewis should have seized an advantage there and couldn't. It's one that got away for him.
It's gone a little bit twitchy this game.
It's with serve at the moment. Level.
85.
We're going to have to vacate the commentary box once again after 10 legs. Chris, it's going to be the end of our commentary stint, which, well, I'm sorry to be going because this has the makings of something very good indeed. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're watching, at home or in the clubs and pubs across the country, stay with it because this one is going to go, one suspects, right to the line.
Oh, if it's anything like the last final involving Wade and King,
60.
Definitely well worth watching. You haven't got long to wait before you get the pleasure of working with me again, John. Yep. End of January.
We'll be there. Milton Keynes, buy your tickets tomorrow. Good dart, bullseye for Anderson. Oh, just the wrong side of the wire. Was for one against the throw.
Going to be back. 90 left. May go ball, may go treble 18.
89. Gary Uruguay 25.
Double 12 for Anderson. Now double 6. Oh, good dart.
Break up throw.
10 flag, Gary to throw first. Game on.
Another break at the end of this leg. And Anderson, having seized the advantage, he'll be in no mood to relinquish it now. Look at this. Maximum number 5.
My goodness. Lock the door, John. We're not leaving.
Both
showboating.
They are loving this. Lewis drops the dart. Hopefully doesn't
Picks
lose
it up,
concentration.
slots it in.
Clearly not. These two guys, incidentally, get on extremely well. They're good mates.
They both get on well with everybody.
Lewis just checking his score. He's 80 on, 145.
100. Go, you require 82.
So 82 for Anderson for 6-4. 17 is his dart. Now looking for tops. And taking it. That is another quality finish from Gary Anderson. That's it from me and Chris for the moment in the commentary box. Gary Anderson is ahead in this match. It's the first to 11, and how important might those 2 legs just before this interval proved to be. He leads A.D. Lewis at this stage by 6 legs to 4.
The thriller as we hoped for, and the players have not let us down. Adrian Lewis chasing a 5th PDC major. Gary Anderson hunting down what would be his first major PDC ranking title. Too close to call at the start? Absolutely. Too close to call now? You bet. Fantastic final from 2 fantastic players.
Well, Anderson's won both sessions 3-2, but at the start of that second session, Adrian Lewis really did come out of the blocks, but Anderson responded really well. The stats are fantastic, just under the ton for both of them. Double success isn't bad either.
A ton from Anderson. 63 180s between them during this tournament.
96.
It's not bad.
No, we saw 5 in that little session. Back, brilliant 180s from Lewis, and there's another one. That's 6 for Gary Anderson, and Anderson has now hit maximums in the last 4 legs.
90.
Well, he came out of the blocks. Gary Anderson with a maximum. He looked well and truly up for it. He really did. Looking for his first PDC ranking title. He should just move over and be careful here. Big 20.
100.
Didn't want to flip the flight and bust the score. But Lewis can do this. Oh, that's a long way off trouble 15. Building him up there for the big finish.
Well, the last time he had 3 clear darts at tops, he missed. All on the top wire. Not this time. Gary Anderson has now won 4 consecutive legs.
12 leg, Gary to throw first.
The Scot, who has beaten Phil Taylor and Vincent van der Voort today. Is this his day? Well, that's his 7th maximum. And that's now a 180 in the last 5 legs.
100.
Well, you can't deny Gary Anderson's ability on the hockey. Can Adrian Lewis deny him his first title? Well, it's in the Smurfs, 7 Dwarfs.
96.
They're all hi-hoing there in the audience.
Well, we're watching some fabulous darts here. And that's a great dart.
121.
Great dart to leave a ton.
Lewis started on the 18s there because he was on 305, looking to leave a big finish. Big 20.
60.
How much pressure will Anderson be under?
43.
Well, he's left a 170 just in case, but a poor visit from Lewis.
That was a flyer. Double turn. A dart again. Gary Anderson has hit a 180 in the last 5 legs and he's won them all.
Well, he's on a roll.
100.
What can AD do to stop it? Adrian Lewis, 4 major titles, very experienced as we know. One of those players that can rattle off 4 or 5 legs against anybody. This is a time now when he needs to do it. He has to be thinking 1 leg at a time.
51.
It's not happening at this moment. We all know it can change.
131.
At the moment, Anderson's top heavy scoring is winning this final.
97.
Important last dart from Lewis. Anderson's tournament average hasn't dipped below 100.
97.
Currently standing at 104.5.
That's why he's in the final. Lewis is making his move. Another maximum for AD. Giving himself a chance in this leg to mount a fight back.
60.
We all know he's good enough.
73.
4 legs behind somebody averaging 100. It's always difficult. 14 tops. Yeah, good finish from AD. The raise of the eyebrow. Hanging in there.
Game on.
He's a dangerous customer, Adrian Lewis, as you mentioned, and if anyone
100.
can get back into this final with the experience that he has of the big stage, of the big finals, it's Adrian Lewis. He never knows when he's beaten. He's proving it again here. Fantastic 177. This final is not over by a long way.
Well, good response from Adrian Lewis. Maximum in the last leg, which he took.
58.
177 in this one. Fighting away.
100.
We saw a run of 3 consecutive legs for Lewis, then 5 consecutive legs for Anderson.
58.
Are we going to see Lewis again take control? It's been a poor leg from Gary. Is he looking at the finishing line? Is he starting to think?
60.
Only for sisters.
There's a likeness. Just beginning to drop short on the treble 20. That will frustrate him, and that will frustrate him even
40.
more. This has been an horrendous leg
64.
for Gary Anderson. It really has. At the worst possible time. But Adrian Lewis, all of a sudden, has a spring in his step.
40.
Well, a bounce out a piece.
We're again dropping short.
134.
Good cover shooting. This is a really important leg, Alan.
Well, the 1-2-4 Adrian Lewis hit against Jamie Caven was the shot of the match for me, and that one's not bad either. He turns round to the family enclosure.
15 flag
He just tells them, I'm still here.
Game on.
Is he ever? Well, he's a different player. He suddenly realised at 8-4 down that he better wake up. We talked in his semi-finals about Lewis going through a little quiet spell. Anderson has to respond this time.
140.
140 apiece. Mitchell looking on.
60.
Fantastic.
Plenty of room there.
Fabulous darts. But back comes Lewis. This is amazing. What a response.
121.
Well, he was unlucky there. Deflected in and then out.
He just had a little bit of a stop, didn't he? Stopped him in his tracks. 170 at the wrong time, but at least it leaves 11. Went for the 25 to leave double 18. 80. Just lost his target. Just momentarily, hopefully.
Well, that's a great response. You have to say, after two fabulous legs from Adrian Lewis, Gary Anderson with a 180, followed by a 170, followed by a clean kill. And Anderson is 2 legs away from winning a big TV major, a ranking event for the first time in the PDC. 9-6 up against Adrian Lewis.
It swung more than Tarzan in the first part of this match, didn't it? But Gary Anderson now in some semblance of control at 9-6.
Yeah, it was nip and tuck early doors, but sort of from 4-4 the game started to take shape.
Yeah.
And Anderson started to find a bit of control. There was a little wobble, sort of 3/4 way through the match, I suppose you could call it. But this 104 from Anderson got things back on terms, and then from there
he went from 4-3 down to 8-4 in front, didn't he?
Yeah.
Bang.
And that was mainly down to some great finishing.
Yeah.
It's a great match. It's still nip and tuck, but 9-6. Different proposition.
Yeah.
8-7 would have been.
Oh, 80 would have literally bitten your hand off for that. But before we got that far, Gary stretched away at the second break to 6-4.
Yeah.
That was where he was putting his foot down.
Yeah, another great finish.
Yeah, 82 I think it was, yeah.
17 here for tops. This is at the point they had to prize me out of the commentary box. But yeah, that cushion, you have a break, you sort of regroup when you come back, and after every break, Gary's been really good.
Yeah.
You know, he must be sort of talking himself through the situation. It's a great match. Great. It's fitting for the darts we've had. I'm just glad that the final's living up to our expectations.
And the 59th ton plus finish was Adrian Lewis 1-2-4 for 8-6.
Yeah. Well, this kept him in it really. I mean, if he'd have lost this particular leg and it was 10-5, you know, one away, it's.
Yeah,
you know,
you're probably done then, aren't you? 9-6 is tough.
Yeah.
It's possible, but he's going to have to come out and go berserk now.
Yeah, he's going to have to break him a couple of times, and that's the problem. The level of play Anderson's at, most of it's sub-15 dart legs. So on his throw, Adrian's going to have to find some 12 dart legs. Not that he can't do it, but it's tough. You know, it's the end of a long tournament. Their energy levels will be on zero, be running on empty.
Yeah, that's right. Alan said earlier, there's a bit of a glint in Gary's eye that perhaps he hasn't seen that often before, that there's a sense of, right, I want this now.
Yeah, even when you speak to him out about where they're practicing, or you know, you see him just sort of wandering around trying to sort of catch 5 minutes to himself, you can see that, you know, I don't know what's different, if he's prepared different.
Of course, he's staying at home. That maybe helps.
Absolutely. You're used to your own creature comforts. You're sleeping in your own bed. You sleep a lot better.
And that's key to an event like this, is a certain level of fitness. You know what I mean? We do laugh and joke about it, but you know, it's a long 3 days.
Yeah.
You're on your feet constantly, it's the pressure, it's the heat. And he just looks the fresher of the two for me.
He looks the more likely at 9-6, that's for sure, as we go back to the box, where Allen and Stewart await.
Well, I wonder, are there one or two more twists and tungsten turns to come before this final is won, before this major is won? Gary Anderson leading 9-6. Adrian Lewis has produced some flashes of genius to stay in it. Let's see what happens.
Well, we're straight back in the groove. Gary Anderson, just letting everybody know in the audience. There we can see it, Gary. A few of them. And that last leg, Stuart, before the break was massive. Adrian Lewis through first to get it back to 8-7. 9-6 is a massive point in the game so far. Anderson keeping his average over 100. It just shows his consistency throughout the whole tournament. 104.5 for the tournament.
Chance for Lewis though, only 45 from Anderson.
135.
Lewis will still believe. He's won matches from worse situations than this. Anderson needs a treble.
60.
Well, 105 with Anderson's last 6 darts. Great chance here for Adrian.
Yeah, great weekend.
60.
Everybody in the crowd anticipating the climax of this final. They started a Mexican wave before. The only people weren't doing it were the Mexicans.
So Anderson here,
76.
76, double 8. To go within one leg of the title, Gary Anderson leads 10-6. Is this going to be one of the best days of Anderson's darting life? Or has Adrian Lewis got something special to show here in the final at Minehead? Here he is again.
Oh, he's homing in. Anderson is homing in. Lewis started the leg with 99. Anderson can smell victory. Can Lewis respond?
60.
Can Lewis respond?
Gary Anderson has had so many near misses. A player of his talent should have won a lot more major titles.
60.
But Anderson here has the destiny of this final in his own magical hands. Can he finish it off here?
93.
What's Adrian Lewis got left in his locker?
Well, he's going to have to do it pretty quickly. Anderson's got 2 visits here to hopefully close this out. What can you leave from 168? Well, not as much as he would have liked. Still leaves a good 3-darter. Lewis needs to pressurise this one. He needs to fill it in.
It's not over yet, Alan.
140.
Leaves him at 86. Anderson 118 for his first PDC ranking title. Can he do it?
Double 19. For Gary Anderson to win the title. Gary Anderson has done it on St Andrew's Day. The Scot celebrates. He is the Players' Champion. He came here as the #1 seed and he's won his first major PDC ranking title. And he has thoroughly deserved it. A terrific success, 101 average, 50% on the doubles, 9 180s. It has been a long time coming, but Gary Anderson has his day. He won 7 titles on the Pro Tour this year to come here as the #1 seed. And today, he's beaten Phil Taylor, he's beaten Vincent van der Voort, And now he's beaten Adrian Lewis to take the crown here in Minehead. A great celebration on St Andrew's Day for Gary Anderson. Really performed terrifically over the weekend. And Anderson and Lewis sharing a bit of a joke. Adrian gave it a real go, didn't he? But just came up short. Terrific performance from Gary Anderson. And you just wonder what this will do for Anderson as he looks forward to the World Championship. Time to celebrate for Gary Anderson. Let's hand to the stage and our MC, John McDonald.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, an amazing final and an amazing end to what has been a fantastic 3 days. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for our presentation party. Would you please welcome the Chief Executive of the Professional Darts Corporation, Mr. Matthew Porter. And ladies and gentlemen, for and on behalf of our title sponsors, Cash Converters, who have committed to sponsoring this event until 2016, the UK Marketing Director, Mr. Richard Livesey. So, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, receiving the trophy and £35,000, that goes to Jackpot Adrian Lewis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. The winner, receiving the wonderful trophy, £65,000. And for his very first time, he's crowned the Cash Converters Players Champion 2014, the Flying Scotsman, Gary Anderson.
Where's your flag? I got rid of it, it's that boon. I got rid of it, no, it's, I don't know, all I can tell you is it's staying in Somerset this year. So it's a nice country and we'll bide here, so spot on.
It is St Andrew's Day, so maybe it was written.
They mentioned that, we're in the wrong country for that. Yeah, no, listen, I worked my heart out this year to get #1 seed. I've seen the draw, you know, the draw that I've had today, well, the last 3 days has been horrific. So to win it makes it even special.
What was different this time? Because you just had that kind of glint in your eye this weekend.
I don't know, I'm dying. I just want to go to my bed now, to be quite honest.
You're done? Is that have you given everything?
I'm done. No, like Aidan, he's a young pup across there, you know. But, no, like I say, we've got the young boys that are coming on, they're going to do this, going to do that. You've got to remember the old boys are still kicking about.
You've won plenty in your time, but obviously a big ranking event like this, you've waited a wee while for it. What does it mean?
It's took a while. I mean, I beat Phil 2007 and I've played the price ever since. You know, I won the Premier League, which was brilliant. I bet Phil this weekend and I've went on to win it. I don't think anyone's done that, have they? Ah, well, there you go. That's me. I'm happy now.
It's a nice trophy, and of course I'm sure you'd like another one in a few weeks, wouldn't you?
That's a bigger one. We've got to get Matt to sign the cheque for it.
Let's bring in the gallant loser, if we may. Adi, come up and have a quick word. Plays your part in a great final. It swung around, didn't it? There were moments there where you thought, I'm back in here.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. You know, fair play to Gary there. He took his chances well. I mean, after the weekend I've had, I'm lucky to get to the final, to be fair. Obviously what's going on back home. But yeah, he took his chances well. You know, he's world number one in the rankings for it. So yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah, we mentioned in the show earlier, obviously you'd have had a little bit away from here, where a little bit on your plate, obviously with a poorly son. Hopefully he's on the mend. Is that right?
Yeah, he's back home from hospital now, so that's obviously a massive thing. And it's his second birthday tomorrow, so you know we're gonna have a little buffet for him, and you know, enjoy yourself and get ready for the Worlds after that.
I don't know who'll be more disappointed. You're quite right. A bit of applause for that. Who'll be more disappointed, you or Keith Deller?
Pardon?
I don't know who'll be more disappointed with this, you or Keith Deller.
Better both, really.
Your chance will come. Both your chance will come. But what do you do next? Do you have a few days off, or what?
I don't know. I might sit and watch Della sweat. No, we're back on the road. I'm up in Scotland next week, and it's a big one, you know. So head on, get ready for it.
It's been a while coming, but well deserved now that it's here. The gallant runner-up and your players' champion, ladies and gentlemen. What a tournament! What a tournament! Nigh on 60 ton plus finishes. A fantastic.